YouTube land, I am DeRoy Cruz, your life applications officer, and YouTube land is not running out of business. Out of everything that's running out of business, none of it's YouTube. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, not running out of business. TikTok, not running out of business yet. Not yet. They might have to shut that down. Things are so bad. People talking about lawsuits. I'm gonna just be rambling, because I really don't have a title for what I'm talking about. I'm gonna just ramble. You say, well, DeRoy, you ramble all the time. What's the difference? I'm admitting that I'm rambling. That's what the difference is. Yeah. Okay. I want to go to history. I watched a lot of videos that ain't got nothing to do with me today. Oh man, I done ended the. I want to get to this. Here we go. What in the world? I want to get to the stuff that Mike Pence comes out of hiding with sick claim against Trump. Let me tell you something. Real quickly. The worst president that we ever had, in my opinion, is the best president we've ever had. He'll be the only president on my wall. I'm going to get me a picture of the president, you know, the Great White Hope, and his wife, and a nice little presidential picture. And I'm going to get me that MAGA hat that I can't wear in public without getting shot, right here in Pittsburgh. They already let me know. You wear that MAGA hat, we're going to shoot you. They told me that to my face. Of course, common sense tells me not to wear it here in Pittsburgh. I could wear it here in Pittsburgh, but not around here anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could even wear it in my neighborhood. But, you know, a 10-minute walk from where I'm living at? No. No, I can't wear it. Once I get to 51, once I get to Route 51 or get to Brentwood, no. Even in Brentwood, there ain't that many, see, we gotta go racial. There ain't that many black folks in Brentwood. Okay, and there ain't that many up here either. Up here, okay, these folks just look at me like I'm crazy. But once I get to Brentwood, any black folks in Brentwood? Then again, white folks in Brentwood ain't gonna let them touch me. One thing I've learned from reading the paper is you don't do your nonsense in Brentwood, because Brentwood don't want you down here in the first place. I can't believe I live here. I can't believe anybody black live here. But praise the Lord. Thanks to these immigrants get treated better. And since the pandemic, well, before the pandemic, you know, if they only supported immigrants in here, they wouldn't have no money. Because, you know, all them people at the border, they didn't get all the way to Pittsburgh yet. You know, once they get to Pittsburgh, we're going to go through a whole new setup again. Once they get to Pittsburgh, I mean, we got a couple. We got some on the job. Once they get to Pittsburgh, and that dementia guy that's in office, he starts making everybody, give them free housing and junk. It's going to be a mess up here, because this place is very friendly to immigrants, but immigrants up here pay rent. They pay rent, they pay taxes, you know, they pay renter's insurance, they pay, you know, they pay to park, they pay for all kinds of stuff. They pay for, garages and, but you start sending them up here and saying we got to do this and that for them against their will or against our will. Ain't going to go too well. I don't have nothing against immigrants, but, and this ain't even part of the video, this is just something that just came to me. Their language crap is crazy. I mean, we're not like other countries. Like, we don't have Americans. We got too many different types of immigrants here to be everybody be speaking Spanish. We got just as many Indians or more as we do Spanish. Matter of fact, we got more Indians than we do Spanish. Everybody, if there's going to be a language that everybody speaks, it should be Arabic. Had a problem with a neighbor of mine today because I don't speak Arabic. You know what I'm saying? I went down there and asked him if met him at the laundromat down there, and I says, "Are you using this one on the left?" He said, "Yeah." And little boy, little boy, the one that came in here and just started playing my ukuleles. Walked right in my house and started playing my ukuleles without my permission. The little boy had to speak English for him. He said, "Hey, you're not using this dryer you're not using this washer on the left. What you tell him that for? What you tell him yeah for?" But that's bad. You get angry at people because you can't speak English. You don't even know what you're getting angry at. You tell people yeah because you can't speak English. You tell people no because you can't speak English. I've had Uber drivers, man, that it's like, out of my mouth, they about ready to drop me off in the woods somewhere because they don't know what I'm talking about. They think I'm asking to get out. I'm not asking to get out. I'm just making sure you know where you're going, bro, because you didn't, when I get in the Uber with a black person or a white person, you know what I'm saying, they repeat the address that I'm going to me. Okay? But these other guys, they want peace and quiet because they can't speak English. I mean, I don't understand how people get jobs. I don't understand how people drive. I don't understand how you do anything without speaking a little bit of English. My God, a little bit of English. And don't get me wrong, I mean, bravo to these countries. Like, I didn't know, I learned from a comedian named Fluffy that in India, when they come over here, that plickety-pluckety accent they got, that's the same accent they got in India. I figure in India they would speak, their own language, and then, but they speak their own language more here in America than they do in India. In India, they say India is an English-speaking nation. I didn't know that. They say more Indians speak English naturally than anybody. That accent though was killing me. You know how many Indian art videos I looked at this week? And she's speaking English, but I'm like, Jesus, man, like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? But we just had a whole meeting at my job. Nobody knew English in there. We had to speak with our phones. Everything that they wanted to tell us, we had to interpret it on our phones. We had to go to Ukraine. We had to go to Guatemala. We had to go to Russia. We had to go all over the world and figure out what these people talking about. They just type it on the phone and give it to us. And then somebody handed me a piece of paper the other day, and I'm like, okay, this is written in Spanish. That doesn't tell me what you want. So I handed it to my buddy, and he was like, the heck what's on that paper? You want the such and such key, right? Yeah. And then it was the wrong key. She had to go and come back. You know, it's bad. It's really bad. I think that there should be laws about immigrants in this country. There should be laws about if you want to come over here, you, for your own safety and the respect of Americans, you need to know, you know. And don't say, oh, well, you know, in their country, yeah, but see, we got a whole lot of immigrants. I see just as many immigrants every day as I see white and black people, okay? And we got a high number of Spanish-speaking people and a big number of Spanish-speaking people in this country, and they ain't even Mexican, okay? We got a big number of Indians. Oh my God, Indians everywhere. They're coming through my kitchen faucet. They're everywhere. Okay? Indians everywhere. We got several different Asian, you know, dialects in this country. I mean, you know, in every city and state. I mean, every single city we got different dialects. I don't know if you're speaking Mandarin or Cantonese or what you're speaking. You know. So some genius is eventually going to make an app on all of our phones so that you can put the phone up to somebody's mouth. They probably already got that, but it probably sucks. But they put the phone up to your mouth and you speak in it, and it tells me in English what you're trying to tell me. You ask me for directions in Spanish or Ukraine or whatever, okay, put it up to your mouth, and if you know how to speak your own language correctly with the right vowel sounds and that, it should come up in, it should come up in English. But some of these people, they speak in Spanish in Ebonics. They speaking the Ukraine language in Ebonics. They speaking, you know, they got lingo too, just like black folks, you know. Man, we need some help over here. What else? I'm trying to get to. I forgot what I was doing this for. Let me shut up for a minute. Moment of silence. Okay, I talked about Mike Pence comes out of hiding with sick claim about Trump. I didn't know that Mike Pence was still in the White House on January 6th. Why didn't they mention that during the January 6th riot or whatever? You know, he was one of the people who was trapped in the White House, him and his daughter. I didn't know that. If that's what he said. So he, and I feel bad because some people really believe that Trump is that bad. He might have some issues, but he ain't no criminal. He ain't no Hitler. He ain't no racist. He ain't no, I mean, if he's racist, he's about as racist as everybody else. Okay, you gonna send someone to hell for racism? Send yourself to hell for racism, because you know you racist right along with them. Okay, I probably sound like a racist right now talking about immigrants. I love immigrants. I love immigrants more than I love Americans. That language barrier though, just don't, you know. And I found today listening to what was I listening to? Here it is. Women are angry as men check out abroad for marriage. I mean the Asian girl that did this video. Now my man Tribe of Men and Angie's missing. I wonder if they had a blow up and she just left the show. Or she might have found love and decided to get married and decided to leave the show. She probably left the country with a billionaire or something. But the girl that he recorded doing this video, you look at her, that makes you want to leave your country. Okay? Matter of fact.
And becoming a password bro, going overseas, and finding a woman, making her his wife and starting a family and being happy and content, smiling in all his pictures. enjoying life, has them seething. How could he do this? It says the men that choose to leave, the passport bros. So they're now starting to address the phenomenon of the passport bros. So
her outfit ain't exactly.
Filipina be here. And today's question is, what do women think of men who leave their home countries to seek love in foreign lands? Well, apparently there's quite a war of words going on between a certain segment of Western women and men who pursue international relationships. It seems there's a lot of animosity against these guys, with name-calling and outrageous accusations. The conflict centers around a movement called the Passport Bros, who are typically black guys who have gotten fed up with the situation in the West and decided to look elsewhere for a happy life. Even though the Passport Bros are mostly African Americans, I think you'll recognize the—
Oh, well, she got that part wrong. Passport bros, there is no skin color. It's just bros in the West taking off. We come in all shapes, forms, and sizes, baby. All skin tones. It must be very popular in the black community, though, if she's referencing it. There must be some black creators talking about passport bros often.
The same tactics being used to shame any guy who dares to dream of finding a better mate overseas. So what are these women saying about the men?
Passport bros go to third world countries and...
Bruh. Nobody in the West is trying to lock you down.
Bruh.
Be real here. Of course.
Well, look at her. Bruh. Okay.
Men.
Oh my God. Oh man, it gets hilarious, Harry. But you see that fine girl? Okay, this. She's like a host of what men, but like you said, it's more black men than others that are leaving America and moving to the Philippines and Thailand and that area and others, and it ain't just like these Asian ladies. There's German women getting into this, what do you call it? Something bros? Hold on.
Leaving the West. For women, that way appropriate.
Purchase little girls and turn her into a breeding mare.
Their life. Even though the Passport Bros are mostly African
Passport
Americans,
bros.
I think you'll recognize the—
Oh, well, she...
Passport bros. But the women that are on here complaining about men having this site called the Passport Bros and going overseas to find love and solace, and it ain't just love and sex that they're looking for. Now there's a site, but I know of friends. I also have friends, they're not my Christian friends, but they're people that I know. They go to Thailand, for example, for sex. They go to Thailand to, have easy sex or get easy sex while they're on vacation, along with some good Thai food and all like that. I love Thai food, okay? And there's people that actually do that. There's men that actually go to the Philippines to meet, girls that look like this girl and, have this experience and come running back here to brag about it. But the site, okay, these bros are actually looking for love. I have a relative that lives in the Philippines who hooked up with a lovely Asian lady and her kids. Okay, she got 2 kids, and they fell in love. Now, he was already very, very familiar with the Philippines because, he was in the military, back in the day, and he traveled to the Philippines. It wasn't like he was seeking out a girl in the Philippines and didn't know nothing about the Philippines. He knew a lot about the Philippines because he'd been on vacation there enough and all like that. Well, this time he decided to retire early in the Philippines and settle down with his Philippine girlfriend and her 2 kids. He got a house that looks like a small supermarket. A house like that here in the U.S. a brother ain't getting it, okay? You have to have some Trump money to get a house like that. But he got it off a simple income, like, a $20 an hour income, His rent is cheap, getting cars and scooters and all that stuff is cheap. I mean, You know, it's the cost of living is different in the Philippines than it is here in the U.S. You know, and he decided to retire in the Philippines with his Philippine wife and her 2 children. And he's happy. I probably talk to him on Facebook and Messenger every once a week. He tells me he's doing great. So it's not just about sex. These guys actually are meeting these girls online and talking about committed relationships and want to get married and all like that. So on that note, to me, why would these women, mainly black women, get angry when they don't treat, I mean, people aren't falling in love anymore. People are having sex and then getting in fights after having sex. People are having sex and getting in fights and having abortions, but people aren't falling in love anymore like they used to. It's all about, you know, player to player and schemer to schemer and all that, you know. People aren't falling in love like they used to. Okay? And to me, I just don't, you know, as much as I love America, right now America doesn't remind me of love. I mean, this is the greatest country in the world, but, you know, I almost mixed my ex-wife because she might have been one of the last black women to, you know, actually hold down a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't hold me down for more than 10 years, but I mean, you know, we didn't hold each other down for more than 10 years, but, you know what I'm saying? She held me down better than, you know, me turning every girl down that I meet, okay? Especially black women. Like, she probably be the last black woman I've been with, that I'll ever be with. I was sick of black women when I was a child. I can't believe I married a black woman, you know? But, you know, the only black woman I ever cared about was my mother. The only woman that ever loved me was my mother, and she could have been driving too, like the song says, okay? You know what I mean? She used to blame me for everything. I couldn't be right about nothing. I was always the baddest one, and it wasn't that she knew that I was, you know, she knew that I wasn't like the others, but it was like, oh, I went with them when I could have stayed home, so I'm an accessory to the crime. And that's true about everything in life. Like, why do you hang around people that you have nothing in common with? Like, for example, like, why are we having people that are fighting for gay people and LGBTQ people more than gay people are fighting for themselves? Gay people are sitting back being gay and ain't worried about it. Why you fighting? Why you out on the street protesting? Lady, I thought you was a lesbian. Out here screaming. Acting a fool. Okay? You know. I thought you was in one of them, you was in one of them SJW nonsense groups. But, you know, it just don't make sense why people are getting in other people's business. And I was trying to find, because he talked about also my man LFR family. Yeah, I passed him up. LFR family. I watched so many pastel and painting videos today. Okay, racism in the West is nothing compared to the Middle East. Yep, I knew that. And I thank, Abin Preach for saying that. What did I watch? Here is, his last name is White. LFR was talking about him, and I know it was after the Joe Rogan video, I think. Dave Chappelle, I know it was after Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle defending Kyrie Irving. Me personally, you need to be careful what you say about the Jews. I'm not saying that Irving should have got. Here he is, Charleston White. Everybody knows Charleston White. He's losing it, man. Like, you left the gang life. Why are you still hanging with them? You left the gang life. Why are you up in their face? And you getting in arguments with these gangbangers over here, but your homies that you hang out with every day, they're in that life too. See, as Christians, we don't do that. Like, if we walk away, when we walk away from the devil, we walk away. You know what I'm saying? We walk away. Ain't no playing. You know, we ain't gonna play. I should put this over here. We're not gonna play, you know. Put a little red in there. So Charleston White, my man, you're a good dude, but you can't be a good dude, and this goes for everybody. You can't call yourself a good dude and talk about sleeping with underage women doing the R. Kelly thing. Okay, just because they ain't black women, they're Asian or whatever, and they giving you the time of day, you gonna try to talk about what you want to do with them on social media that ain't right. You know, dude, you gonna hang yourself. You gonna be in jail before one of these real gangbangers capitate your behind. Okay, you gonna make it to jail first. You messing with somebody's Asian daughter or whatever. You know. I mean, I'm D-Roy Cruz. Don't nobody like Asian females more than I do. Okay, but I don't go after them like that. You know what I mean? I talk about them. I say hi to them. You know what I mean? Try to have conversations with them. They don't understand English, and they don't want to talk English unless they're fluent with it. And if they do talk good English, then they think they're out of your league, out of mine anyway, because they figure they can talk English that good. You know what they need a black man for? You know, get a white man. White man, that's what it's all about. Get a white man. But you don't see no brothers. All these brothers liking on these Asian girls that they can't have. You don't see us getting on social media complaining about, all these Asian women coming over here, hooking up with white men. You don't hear us complaining about black women hooking up with white men. We ain't worried about it. You know what I mean? No, I ain't. And I don't really worry about any of these women unless I don't worry about any of these women unless they're in my circle or I'm in their circle. We got Jesus in the middle and we got the conversation thing going. She's comfortable around me, I'm comfortable around her. We got the politics together, we got Jesus together, we got the church together, we got, our morals together. That's the only way for me. I mean, sure, I talk like, sometimes I talk like an Asian woman is an Asian woman. Be honest with you, no, she's not. No, she's not. That's too much. This is the problem with gouache. That's too much color. Now, I done covered all that up. Now I got to put it back on there. I got to wait for it to dry. What else we got here? That's why I believe in separation politics. And we don't talk about that anymore. Like, downtown Pittsburgh, for example, is not for homeless people. But we're putting a homeless shelter down there. Downtown Pittsburgh is not for street people. But we got about what? 4, 5, 7-Elevens down there. We done put a Target down there. We done put, we putting all this since the pandemic. We putting all this low income stuff down and trying to make everybody comfortable. Everybody ain't supposed to be breathing each other's air like that. Okay? If a street person wants to attack, somebody's wealthy daughter, somebody's college kid, or whatever, he should have to break in your house to get to her. You don't let her come downtown Pittsburgh to him. And the place is flooded with these idiots. And that's where we're at in Pittsburgh right now. It's like, I go to work every day, and as soon as I get off that bus, I'm there with everybody I disagree with. Financially, spiritually, morally, physically, racially, everybody. Okay? And then you want to send people down there like these Hebrew Israelites. Now they coming down there. They're coming down there. What's next? The Ku Klux Klan? You know what I'm saying? So we can all just, we have to shut the city down. They keep putting everybody in one bundle together like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's young daughter, sure, she's fine enough to look like she in college, but she's in high school. She coming out of the Target, and you got some homeless man over there grabbing his crouch across the street yelling at her. We shouldn't be in each other's spaces like this. Back in the 80s, when me and my cousin used to go downtown Pittsburgh, if we didn't have a good reason to be down there, they made us go home. Especially when our clock hit 9 o'clock at night. Okay? If you are downtown Pittsburgh, you best be walking like you're going somewhere. Don't be stopping, asking people for change. Don't be telling people about your homeless situation. Don't be you know what I'm saying? And if a man, a homeless man, whether he was white or black, walked up on, a woman dressed, executively dressed, and started talking to her, them cops was walking the beat. They waltzed up on you in 2 seconds. They ran right across the street. We don't have it like that no more. Every time you call a cop, you're calling a cop to come there and investigate a crime that was committed, not to stop a crime. By the time the cops get there, they got away with it. It's going to be weeks and days and months. And they're going to hurt and harm other people before the cops ever get them. There's a bunch of guys out there that the cops ain't got. And they just get on a bus, go downtown and go to Target or whatever with everybody else, and then come back downtown later and attack people and rape people and everything else. Especially these young ones. And what do the cops do? There's all these restrictions on police now. They're making money for doing nothing. Oh, we just want you to show up. Don't arrest nobody. Where are we supposed to put them? Don't arrest them. Don't put your hands on anybody. Don't shoot nobody. Don't tase nobody. Okay? But if the person defends themselves and shoots somebody because he was defending his family, oh, arrest him. See why he was downtown Pittsburgh flashing a gun. Arrest him. He shot somebody's teenage boy for attacking his wife. He could have done something different. Arrest him. This is the problem. We don't need to defund the police. We need to refund the police, like that one news anchor said. We need to refund the police, not defund the police. Okay? We need to make the police... Let me tell you something about police. No matter what police do wrong, just like our military. We got to have them. You can reform the police force, and you can fire and make replacements, but we don't defund the police. We don't mess with their salary. We don't mess with their pension. We need to be finding ways to make sure they get raises on time, to make sure they're getting paid and they got all the benefits and everything they deserve, because they are the ones that need to be responsible. Their job is to protect and serve. Whether they do it or not, that's their job. That's the job. That's the premium. Pay them for the premium. Not because you don't like Donald Trump. And a white cop shooting a black man, that's something Donald Trump would do. Like Donald Trump don't own guns. You know, like he can't just get in his fancy car and drive around and start shooting black folks. You know what I mean? Like Washington ain't got enough gangster black folks in it to be shooting them. It's easy target practice. They're all over the place. Okay? And it's changed since 1995, because when I went to stand in the gap, I didn't see that many black folks in Washington, D.C. But you drive through the monument now, that's all you see. You know? But, I didn't get half where I wanted to get. But we need to get back to separating cultures by city. We don't need to separate races from cities, because everybody wants to get away from, the ghetto. Everybody wants to get away from. I've had people tell me to my face that, well, those are your people, and you should, be prepared to live there, since, what I'm saying, that's your karma, that's your situation. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with karma. That has nothing to do with, what's the word to use? Destination, fate. That's not my fate. Okay? If I don't want to live, and I left the ghetto. Of course, I was lucky to get out of the ghetto because my house was exploded. My roof fell in on me. So, that's the only way they would help me. But, and I found this place. I thought for sure I was on my way to Homewood. I thought I was going back home where I came from. Right back to the ghetto. They can't even get me in there. It's so bad. It was so bad, especially during the pandemic. Well, this was before the pandemic, right before the pandemic. But anyway, I want to say this too. Jesus, since this is also a Christian channel, I let it all out, but this is a Christian channel. I have to say this. Jesus is not an option. Now, there's a lot of things out there that we love to do, and freedom of choice is really, really great. But anybody that has become a Christian knows that once he becomes a Christian and is delivered from worldliness and is delivered from that secular mindset, he knows that he is home. There's a way to be a human, and there's a way not to be a human. There's a way to practice humanism, if you want to call it that. And there's a way not to. Okay? Baby, 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 for example, in every song. When you know you ain't loved a woman like that in God knows how long since you've been in the music business. Why you lying, bro? Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby. This is what I want to do to you, And you ain't got no time for a woman, but you got time for sex. You ain't got time for marriage, but you got time for sex. You ain't got time for your own daggone kids, but you got time for some little hoe, some little trick. Okay? And then, you know, what part of common sense left you to let you know that even though a woman tells you, oh, well, you know, what you want to do, baby? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. Okay. Fine. And she lets you get yours. You thinking she got hers. Everybody's happy. Put our clothes back on and leave. Telling you. Women aren't made like that. Women, they can be as feminist. They can be a prostitute. I mean, they best be a prostitute. But unless you paying this woman for every little thing you do in the bedroom with her, y'all ain't giving each other the right signals. There ain't no woman out there that wants a man, especially when a woman, you know, is out of high school, she's in college, getting ready to graduate from college, start a career and all like that. There is no women out there. Yeah, I know there's women out there that are out there hoeing around and they think it's cute, but they're not made for that. Men can do this, and you know, until God strike them dead, they you know, they're dogs. Men are dogs by nature. Men are human dogs. Okay? This is how men are able to have relationships with transgender women. This is why men are stupid enough, men that are gay, that is, are stupid enough to become trans women. Because they know that when a man looks at a woman, he's not looking at her heart, he's not looking at her mind, he's not looking at her education, he's not looking at, you know, all that stuff is just the steal. But he's looking for his. He's looking for the guy. And then these trans women, let me tell you something. If a man is willing to use a woman, a real biological woman, and use her body, knowing that he can get her pregnant, knowing that he's not being honest with her about his other relationships, what do you think he's going to do with a trans woman? Oh, he didn't know how to have a relationship. This is a straight man we're talking about here. He didn't know how to have a relationship with a woman that didn't blow up in her face. Oh, but the trans dude thinks that he's going to be able to love him? This is America on stupid. This is America out of control. This is the Democratic Party going wrong. This is a mess. Everything going wrong. You know, we can survive without Jesus, but should we? We can survive. I've watched people survive with AIDS. There's people I know that got AIDS right now. They've had AIDS for 20 years. And they're still living. And they're still having sex. Whether they telling their partners that they got AIDS, that they HIV positive, you know. Only Jesus, because see, this is the thing. Whatever happened to sexless? No, this is how we do it. If you come into this world and you don't desire to, you're watching all you guys make moves on the women and all your buddies get laid and all this stuff in middle school and high school, and you're not really into that, so, oh, you must be gay. No. You can be sexless. What we are doing to children today, and it all started back in my day. I mean, I went through this. And it put me with people in situations that to this day is embarrassing for me to talk about. You don't tell children they have to get laid if they feel inadequate about it. Nobody has to hurry up and lose their virginity. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. In the sight of God, a virgin woman is the most precious thing and the most smart thing, the smartest thing that ever existed in this country, in the sight of God. And if you can't understand the purity there, if you can't understand why, that's why you need to know the Lord. And I'm not just speaking this for Christians, I'm speaking this for everybody. Being a virgin, if you're a virgin in the Lord, that's beautiful, that's better. But being a virgin is good, period. What's so sad today, and I can almost not blame women for just, kicking that idea out of her mind, because why? Men. You got men that are out here donating their sperm, figure of speech. But they want to worry about whether their next girlfriend is a virgin or not. Oh, I like her. Oh, she's a virgin. Oh, dude, you don't deserve to be with a virgin. You lost your virginity. Virgins go with virgins. All these men, there's men that are paying money and leaving the country to be with a virgin. It goes both ways, baby. My Bible tells me that men should keep their virginity, as well as women. And for the women that were virgins, in the Bible days, were protected. Now, in places like Israel, they still are. Hey, my black Hebrew Israelite brothers. What are you doing about the virgin women? You say you know so much about Jews. What are you doing with these black women that are virgins? Oh, you mean to tell me this guy got 5 wives at a very young age and ain't none of them virgins? You took these girls fresh out of high school, ain't none of them virgins. And then you think that, this is beautiful, this is, I guess it would be after she did all that. She don't care about no man. She don't care if she share you with other women. She gave that up when she lost her virginity. From some fool that she don't love and he don't love her. Because her hormones told her and the pressure from other kids told her you gotta have sex and you gotta have it now. You gotta be a dumb behind not to have sex. Sex with who? Gangbangers? Kids that ain't paying attention in school? Kids that ain't gonna go to college, ain't got no future? All these women going to college, they coming home to a lazy bum boyfriend. This is the greatest country that exists. Will never be another country better than this one. That's why everybody trying to come here or either destroy it from within and without. But America needs Jesus just as much as China needs Jesus, just as much as Pakistan needs Jesus. Just as much as Ukraine needs Jesus, Russia, you know. America needs Jesus. It really does. The things that are going on are horrible. And while you sit there and say that, oh, Donald Trump, yeah. You know, in closing, I'm going to say it again. Everything from the election, Donald Trump getting elected, all the way to Joe Biden, everything that happened to Donald Trump, everything Donald Trump was accused of, you know, everything from, you know, Corona to the Russian collusion, impeachment, you know, the Mar-a-Lago incidents, January 6th, you know what I'm saying, grab him by the coochie, you know what I'm saying, everything that Donald Trump went through, okay, from the time he decided to come into office till right now as we speak, and he ain't even in office, is all rigged. You wanna hate on the Republican Party? Pick a Republican that I don't know. Don't pick Donald Trump. Because first of all, he's not in office. Second of all, he's the best president in my book that ever existed. And every time you attack him or say something stupid about him, you make him even more the best president that I've ever known. Just stop. You know it's rigged. You know it's rigged. Some of y'all, even on television, in the news, you know what I mean, they really think, like Mike Pence, he might really believe, since if he was in that White House when that happened, he might really believe that Donald Trump might have set that off, because they making him believe it and he was there. But most of y'all know that this is rigged. Y'all laughed your butts off. They laugh at me at work when, oh, well, your president's going to jail for blah blah blah. You know you can't put the man in jail for that, and they just laughing hysterically. They know it's not true. They know the man is being set up, but yet they hate him because they think it's cool. They hate him because they think it's, you know, you gotta follow the flow. You gotta all go dance at the same disco. Okay. But I am D. Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Thank you for watching. And I have a lot more to say. I got a lot more rambling to do before this year is over. So stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching. See you soon with more. I promise.